Heidi and the Swiss Alps. In a quaint village nestled in the heart of the Swiss Alps, a young orphan named Heidi lived with her aunt, Deet. After the death of Heidi's parents, Deet took care of her, but when an opportunity arose for Deet to work in the city, she decided it was time for Heidi to live with her grandfather, uncle, who resided high up in the mountains. Uncle was known to be a reclusive and gruff old man, but Deet believed that Heidi's presence would soften his heart. The arrival. One sunny morning, Deet and Heidi embarked on the journey to uncle's hut. Heidi, with her bright eyes and lively spirit, was excited about the adventure. They climbed the steep path, and as they ascended, Heidi marveled at the breathtaking views of the mountains, covered in wildflowers and green pastures. When they reached the hut, uncle was initially taken aback by their visit. His demeanor was stern, and he didn't welcome the idea of taking care of a child. However, Heidi's innocence and cheerful disposition slowly began to melt his hardened exterior. Deet left, confident that Heidi would be in good hands, and returned to the city. Life in the Alps. Heidi quickly adapted to life in the mountains. She loved the fresh air, the towering trees, and the majestic landscape. Every morning, she would wake up early to help uncle with the chores. She learned to milk the goats and gather fresh herbs for their meals. Heidi's favorite companion was a young goat herder named Peter. Together, they roamed the meadows, tending to the goats and exploring the hidden corners of the Alps. Peter and Heidi would often sit on a hilltop, gazing at the panoramic views of the valleys below. Peter taught Heidi about the various plants and animals that thrived in the region, and Heidi, with her unbounded curiosity, soaked up every bit of knowledge. The two became inseparable, sharing stories and laughter as they wandered through the fields. A new challenge. Despite the idyllic life in the mountains, a change was on the horizon. One day, Deet returned, insisting that Heidi come with her to Frankfurt. She had arranged for Heidi to be a companion to Clara Sessman, a wealthy girl who was confined to a wheelchair. Uncle was reluctant to let Heidi go, but Deet's persistence won out. Heidi, although sad to leave her beloved mountains and grandfather, was excited about the new adventure. City life. In Frankfurt, Heidi was introduced to a world completely different from the one she knew. Clara and her family were kind and welcoming. Clara was delighted to have a friend her age, and the two girls quickly bonded. Heidi's presence brought joy and vitality to the Sessman household. However, Heidi soon began to feel the pangs of homesickness. The confined city life, with its tall buildings and bustling streets, was a stark contrast to the open spaces of the Alps. Heidi missed the fresh mountain air, the sound of the goats, and the companionship of Peter. She found it hard to adjust to the rigid routines of city life and often felt trapped. Her health began to decline, and her once cheerful spirit dimmed. Clara's grandmother, a wise and perceptive woman, noticed Heidi's distress and suggested that she be allowed to return to the Alps. Return to the mountains. Uncle was overjoyed to have Heidi back. The moment she returned to the mountains, her health and spirits improved dramatically. She ran through the meadows, her laughter echoing through the valleys. The fresh air and familiar surroundings rejuvenated her. Clara's grandmother, understanding the healing power of nature, convinced Mr. Sessman to let Clara visit Heidi in the Alps, hoping the environment would also benefit Clara's health. Healing and friendship. Clara's arrival in the Alps was a turning point. Heidi and Peter did everything they could to make her stay enjoyable. They took her on walks, introduced her to the friendly goats, and showed her the beauty of the mountain flowers. Clara, who had been frail and dependent, began to gain strength and confidence. With the encouragement of Heidi and Peter, and the gentle care of Uncle, Clara attempted to walk. One miraculous day, Clara took her first steps. The joy and astonishment were overwhelming. Clara's father, who had come to check on her progress, was moved to tears. The transformation in Clara's health was undeniable, and he was eternally grateful to Heidi and her family. A happy ending. The bond between the two girls grew stronger, and the villagers, once wary of Uncle, began to see him in a new light. They respected his wisdom and kindness and were grateful for the positive changes he had brought to Heidi and Clara's lives. Heidi's return to the mountains brought a new sense of community and togetherness to the village. Heidi's story is one of love, resilience, and the healing power of nature. It teaches the importance of family, friendship, and the simple joys of life. The picturesque Swiss Alps, with their majestic beauty, serve as a backdrop for this timeless tale, reminding readers of the magic that exists in the world around them. The story of Heidi remains a beloved classic, inspiring generations with its heartfelt message and the enduring spirit of a little girl who found her true home in the mountains.